For many, Good Friday is a time of reflection, of silence, sacrifice, and sorrow. But silence has a sound if you listen closely. It's the echo of something watching, waiting. This story was told to me by someone who never celebrated another Good Friday after what happened. They say rituals, even the innocent ones, carry weight, and sometimes they open doors. Have you ever felt unseen eyes watching you in the dark? Welcome to Nightfall Crypt, where shadows whisper, the unknown lingers, and every story is waiting for you to listen, if you dare. The Gomez family was devout, if not a bit old-fashioned. Every Good Friday, they performed the Stations of the Cross at home. 14 prayers accompanied by readings and solemn silence between each one. This year, they invited a new addition. Aunt Clarita, freshly arrived from the Philippines, where she claimed their bloodline had deep spiritual roots. At first, everything felt sacred, holy. A table was turned into a makeshift altar with a white cloth and a small wooden cross. A soft drizzle pattered the windows, adding ambience. But at the 9th station, Clarita whispered something not in English. Her lips barely moved, but her voice echoed. Father Gomez paused. "Clarita." She smiled, too wide. "I'm just praying, in our dialect." By the 12th station, the air in the room thickened. The youngest, Mateo, pointed to the cross. "It's bleeding." No one believed him until they saw the tiny crimson drop at the base. They checked the cross. It wasn't bleeding. There was no hole or mechanism, but the drop stayed. Clarita's eyes welled up. "It's the sign. He's listening." "Who?" whispered Mrs. Gomez. Clarita didn't answer. Instead, she grabbed Mateo's hand and pressed it to the cross. The boy screamed as if burned. A welt formed across his palm, a perfect cross, seared into flesh. That's when the lights went out. Panic fluttered in everyone's chest, but Clarita was calm. She instructed them to finish the final 2 stations, or the spirit would be trapped between worlds. Her voice was different now, older, deeper, layered, almost like someone else was speaking through her. Reluctantly, they obeyed. With each prayer, the wind outside intensified. But the final prayer, the 13th station, was missing. Instead, Clarita chanted a phrase none of them understood, something like, "Sa dugo ng krus buksan ang pintuan ng pagbalik." By the blood of the cross opened the door of return. The crucifix fell, shattering, and then the wall behind the altar cracked open, not crumbled, but split, perfectly. From the dark space beyond it, a low moan echoed. They should have run, but something kept them still, like their limbs were encased in concrete. From the crack emerged a figure wearing a torn robe, skin tight and dry like parchment. A crown of thorns dug into its scalp, eyes black as coal. It bled, but the blood moved upward. Clarita knelt before it. "I've returned what was promised." The being lifted her by the throat. "You broke the cycle early." It tore Clarita's body into ash with a touch. Then it looked at the family. The family ran, or tried, but the house kept changing, hallways leading nowhere, stairs that looped. Mateo's father smashed through a window only to find another room outside. They were trapped. That night, the police found the house empty, but the altar room remained ice cold. There was one thing left behind. Mateo's handprint burned into the cross. Authorities dismissed it as vandalism and grief. But 2 weeks later, on Easter Sunday, Clarita's voice was heard in the church confessional, speaking that same phrase. Good Friday commemorates death and suffering, but what if it also calls to those who feed on it? Faith can be light or shadow. That family hasn't been seen since. No obituaries, no funeral, just gone. And every Good Friday since then, neighbors say they hear prayers echoing through that empty home. But here's the part that truly unsettled me. I looked up the phrase Clarita used. It's from a pre-colonial incantation used to summon lost ancestors. But the final word she added, "Open the door of return," wasn't part of it. That's not a prayer, it's an invitation. And so, the shadows stretch further, and the mystery only deepens. But this is far from the end. It's merely the beginning. What lingers beyond the door? Who is whispering your name? And what is that shifting in the corner of your eye? The answers await in the next chapter of these chilling tales. Subscribe to Nightfall Crypt and hit the notification bell, because the crypt's secrets are endless and the darkness never sleeps. Until next time, stay in the light if you can.